Hello 2811 subscribers. Last week I signed a cleaning business that wants to automate their lead generation process. I reached out to this client a few months ago through the cold email, was offering my agency services as I usually do. We've been going back and forth for a few months, had 2 calls, 1 discovery and 1 technical with the whole team, where I was presented the solution and was explaining different possibilities. In this video, I will show you everything from the goals for this integration to the technical setup and closing process. As always, I will also share the numbers, the offer structure, and how much we charged. First, we'll jump into the mirror. I will show you the backend, then we'll go to the technical setup, and then we will go into the actual sales and closing process. We have 5 goals for this AI integration. You know what, before we continue, this is the company website. Everything will be blurred. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to share the company name nor their website, but you can see that this is the prototype that we have done, and it's actually already deployed on their server side on WordPress, since we're in touch with their technical team, so it was not hard to provide them the embed script. I'm showing this to you so that you can see I'm not bullshitting. This is a real company and real client that we are currently working and planning to develop more AI solutions for. Now, the first goal is to capture the leads, then nurture the leads, then book the visits, then do the reminders and upsells to the existing services. How the lead capture and nurture process works. We have and will deploy the final chatbot, as you already saw on their website. This chatbot will capture the leads, so convert visitors into the leads, then nurture them through different questions and make them fill out certain things inside the chat. Then we are booking the visit, they confirm the visit manually, they contact the customer, since this is a B2B cleaning offerings. It's not like B2C with hundreds and thousands of different leads that needs to be automatically contacted. They have a dedicated sales team. Then when the booking is made, we will do the reminders before the booking as well as the upsells after. Now, we have a chatbot which is deployed on the website. The chatbot is made on Voiceflow. Now, so we capture the lead, we nurture the lead, everything through the chatbot. When the user fills out the information through the forms inside the chatbot, obviously I'll show you how we do that. We are sending the webhook to book the visit. The automation software that we're using is GoHighLevel. Most of you are pretty familiar with it. So essentially, when the lead is nurtured and captured, we are sending this lead to GoHighLevel. Inside GoHighLevel, we have one automation that is essentially sending an SMS to confirm the appointment. They reply to this SMS, then when the reply is received, the sales team from the business contact the customer, get all the details, and I will explain you guys why we're not capturing everything from the chat. Obviously, it is possible, but we're capturing basic details and nurturing the prospect. So when their sales team contacts the customer and the customer confirms everything, it goes into the pipeline to the actual visit stage, where we will do the reminders, and once the visit has been done, we're gonna do the upsell service and all these things. The automations will be done on GoHighLevel, and I will also show you how it's going to work. Okay, so these are the results that we currently expect. They have approximately 10,000 visitors a month. They run different email campaigns as well as the Google and Facebook ads. We're planning to have the engagement rate about 7%. So we might have about 700 conversations started. From these conversations, we're planning to capture 20% of the leads. It means that 20% of the people will input the information to get all of the details. This is a very, very basic stat. It's an approximate that I was showing the client. Probably it's going to be I'm not sure. So it might be lower, it might be higher, not more than 30%, because there will be a lot of conversations that are, just 1 or 2 sentences long. But since they have a dedicated marketing team and they are making sure that they only reach to the prospects that are currently interested, and they're reaching out to the businesses that we're already kind of pre-qualified, so we can expect the capture percentage to be a bit higher. So 140 new leads approximately could be captured. Let's say that 20% of them are qualified, because again, this is a B2B business. They have a certain requirements for the clients that they work with, especially for the spaces where they're gonna work. So this is the stats that I got from the client. And we're planning to get approximately 30 leads into the pipeline every month. So currently they have about 10, from the website a month, because website is not their main resource. They've been on the market for a while now. They have a lot of organic clients, but they want to still convert more people from their website. So this is kind of 3x increase in the leads flow to the pipelines, so that these are the actual leads that their sales team will work with, and most of them will be converted already since they've been nurtured through the chatbot. Before I go to the technical setup, let's see how it works. When I start the conversation, it says, "Good morning, good day, how can I assist you?" And it gives us 3 main options. So let's click ask a question for it now. Sure, what is your question? What type of services you provide? So let's ask something generic. We should get a same generic reply. These are the services that we do. So do you work with warehouses? For example, let's see. Yes, we do provide cleaning. Okay, so I need one. Now it will go to a separate flow where it will ask us to choose the service that we need. This is obviously still not refined properly, since it's just a prototype. As you can see here, we have the commercial kitchen cleaning, but you might already ask a question using what this is, because it is like the chatbot is developed on the Voiceflow, and this is a custom action. So essentially, this is a standalone element that we can interact with and where we can provide the information. So let's say comprehensive cleaning. This is the price, the number of rooms, let's say 14, and let's say lobby. Here, we will provide additional comments, none. We'll click submit. So to schedule your service, please provide the details, right? So here we are asking to provide the company details. Again, we're not doing it on one step, because eventually we will kind of enrich the experience, and before capturing all the information, we will ask additional qualification questions. Actually, since when we will submit this info, it will start the automation. So let's actually start the make automation to see how it's going to work. Here we'll provide, for example, Eugene K. My email is eugene123@gmail.com, 313 for us. Okay, the company name, let's say Quimple Agency. Let's say the locations, because they operate only in 7 locations. That's why instead of kind of letting the user input the location here, we're letting them know that there is no way we will go to like another state. Obviously, 95% of the businesses will come from these states because the ads are running inside the states, but it depends. Some mistakes might happen, so that's why it's here. So let's say Georgia, full address, whatever, so it doesn't really matter. Now When we click submit, it says, awesome, we'll send you the SMS as the confirmation. And the automation was started, and we already updated the lead inside the GoHighLevel, and the SMS automation was already started. We will go over this automation later. So for right now, let me show you how the Voiceflow automation looks. We have a small knowledge base which does have an information about the business from the website. As you can see, it's properly structured in Markdown format. To scrape the information in proper format, we are using Firecrawl. This is the software where you can get the link from the website. For example, here, go to Firecrawl, you input the URL and click run. When you click run, it will scrape the information from the website in the Markdown format so that AI has easy time to read the info. Thus, we can get sharper responses. This is essentially how the knowledge base is currently structured. When we go to the workflow, we have just one simple home flow. This is the first step where we set up the Voiceflow API key as well as the bot persona. We don't really need the API key, but I usually like to have it in case we will reference it further in the sequence. Bot persona is where we specify what information we like, how we want the AI to behave. We will input this variable into the system prompts when we are communicating with the client. Again, everything will be blurred so that you don't see the company name. JavaScript is just made for testing, don't really need it. By the way, guys, as always, this template will be available for free. I will, delete the bot persona as well as the knowledge base will be empty. But this sequence, as well as the make.com sequence, will be available for free in my resource hub. So first link in the description, you go there, input your email, and it will send you a direct access link. Okay, so this is the intro where we're asking for AI to greeting the user, being professional, creative, adding one emoji, all these things. And we have 3 buttons, 4 choices. Okay, so when we ask a question, it says, sure, what's your question? We're capturing the user entire response. Then we are updating the memory. This is a separate function, and you can find this function here. If you want, you can export it and use it in your project. It's not as hard. For some reason, it was reloaded. Okay. So this function saved everything from the conversation. It saved both user utterances as well as the bot responses into one custom memory variable. And then we can use this variable however we want, right? And you will see how we utilize it. Then we have an agent. This is how we essentially call bigger prompts that do one specific thing and complete one very, very narrow task. Okay, this is just a prompt, right? But we call it an agent. The goal for this agent is to classify user intents and output and understand either the user is asking a general question, a service-related question, or a schedule utterance, right? So this is where the user actually wants to schedule something. You may ask, if you ever used Voiceflow. Eugene, Voiceflow does have intents, right? So you can create the intents here. I never use it because I don't trust them. They are accurate, right? It really depends, but they are pretty accurate. Voiceflow did a great job making them, but I like to have a full control over the flow. That's why you will always see that we, for right now at least, use the intent classification steps as an agent. So, and we are asking AI to output either general, service, or schedule word and save this word in the intent variable, right? Then we are checking this intent variable If it's general, right, it means that the user asked the general question, it goes here. If it's a serviced question, it goes actually to the same step as you can see here with the, service and schedule goes to the same sequence. But this is just for the future reference because obviously the final solution kinda will be much bigger. Okay. For the general utterance, if you remember, we asked what services, right, do you provide or what businesses do you work with? We are calling the knowledge base. This is a new function, the module from Voiceflow. You can find it in dev, KB search. Essentially, you can do it in two different ways. So this specific module is sending an API request to a knowledge base using the last utterance as the question and outputting only chunks, right? This is how RAG knowledge base works. So essentially you get the chunks as the reference, which are closely matched to your utterance. And then based on these chunks, AI generates a response, right? This is what's done automatically, for example, when you get the response AI and use knowledge base as a data source. This is done, automatically on the backend. And we've been always using a custom API, calls. That's why they probably introduced this step, which again gives us more precise control over each and every step in the flow. So we're trying to retrieve information about the last user utterance, which is closely matched to the content in the knowledge base. Then we are creating the reply, and this is how it's done. We're asking AI to analyze the last user utterance based on reply to the last user utterance based on the conversation history and the knowledge base, the guidelines, the rules. And here we're asking, okay, so this is what the user asked, right? So what services do you provide? This is the knowledge base context that was found from this step. And this is the conversation history, right? So here we have the custom memory variable. So now when AI creates a response, it has utterance, knowledge base context, and conversation history. That's why the replies are 100% accurate, okay? And we're just displaying the reply, so that, and then capturing the response. Obviously, you can do it inside the response AI step, so you can essentially copy this code and paste it here, right? But it's just a huge block. It's not nice. It doesn't look nice on the flow. Then we're updating the memory again and go to back to the intent classification. Okay, now when the intent is classified as service or schedule, we are going here. We are checking the selected service variable if it's empty or not. In a nutshell, this is when user already provided something, right? So if we go here, as you can see, when the user clicks on any service and clicks submit, this service will be saved in the variable, and we're checking, okay, so is this variable empty or not? Because if it's not empty, he already chose something. So we don't want to display this form one more time, okay? So, but let's skip this part. Let's say that this variable is empty, right? We are entering the flow for the first time. We are creating the reply. Essentially here, we are asking to, answer user utterance, just, in case he asked something before showing him the actual form, okay? Now we're displaying this answer, and right away after this answer was displayed, we are displaying the form, the custom action form. And this is probably the part which is the most complex, but the most interesting. Essentially, you do not have an option to display forms inside Voiceflow. And even if you would be pretty limited in terms of the design of these forms. As you can see, the forms here are aligned with the colors of the brand, right? So it's yellow, blue, and sky blue. That's why it looks nicer as the final product. Here's how it's going to be done. Essentially, you have here a custom action block. So here you specify the name of the custom action. You don't really need the action body if it's like, we will use probably, and I will show you in other tutorials on other videos how you would utilize it, but for now we don't need it. So essentially we will create a script, right? And when we embed this script to the website, it will be triggered once the user goes to this specific custom action. So user goes through the flow, and when he lands to this custom action with this name, the script that was deployed on the website will be triggered, because we have two forms, right? So we have one form like custom action and another form. So here the only form with this name was actually triggered. You ask me, okay, Eugene, how the code looks. I usually use Claude, but after the ChatGPT 4 was, introduced the canvas, we're kind of playing around with it. The final version will be obviously done by my developers, because you should, hard code it, at least like the CSS and HTML side, so that, you can make sure that everything is precise and accurate, but you can also use the AI models to generate your script. So the idea is that here you are asking AI to kind of create the form, right? So to provide the HTML code with the CSS on how the form should be rendered. So once the client lands to this custom action, this form will be rendered, right? And this is what you saw inside the chatbot. And then when user inputs something in the fields, the information will be saved in the variables through the JavaScript, which goes after the custom action, which I'm going to show you next, right? Here's how you would do that. Again, my resource hub is free. This specific code, everything here will be in my resource hub. So you just copy it, go to, whatever, like ChatGPT Claude, and says, hey, this is the reference of the custom action on Voiceflow. I want you to, create another form with another design and with these fields. That's it. It will create you the script, and then you embed this script the same way as you do embed like your chat widget, and it works. Okay. There are some limitations, right? I'm not going to cover it here, but there are some limitations that you need to keep in mind, but it's going to be like the whole nother story. After this form is rendered, as you can see, it stops on action. So we are like kind of rendering the form and we stop, and we are waiting for the user to do something. So here, after the user input the information inside the form and click submit, we are triggering the JavaScript. And this is like, as you can see here, selected service, last event payload. So this is where we save what user input into the variables on the Voiceflow. And now we can reference these variables. Okay, so once the form has been completed, this JavaScript ran, we go back to the intent classification step. And you may ask, okay, Eugene, why we do not go here? Because guys, user, like, it's not as straightforward always. So user might ask like additional question, and we might like want to go after like this form is completed, we might go here, right? Answer the question. And then once it's answered, go back and capture the details. So, but since we have not asked anything, agent has the memory, right? So it has the conversation history. So it's so that we are completing the information and we didn't ask any question. So it still classified us as the schedule or service, the same as it did before. And we're now, since this selected service is not empty because user already chose the information from the form, we're going to the second flow. Here again, to schedule a service, I need to get some of the details, and and here is another custom action where we're capturing the personal details. After this custom action is completed, we're again saving everything in the variables and using a simple make webhook, as you can see here, and we're passing all the information that was captured here into the webhook. So if you go here, right, so this is the information that Quimple agency, right, so we chose lobby 14 comprehensive cleaning. This is the information that we chose, and it passed this information to the webhook as well as our email, the phone number, everything, right? So, and yeah, and that's it. We are saying that awesome, we'll send you the SMS as a confirmation, and then going back to the intent classification so that user can ask additional questions. Okay, obviously we would want to limit it for the re-entry because everything was already entered, so we don't really want, after like everything is completed here, we don't really want the user to go to like the same forms. But again, this is just a prototype. Here is we are passing the information, and this information creates a contact in GoHighLevel. Okay, so now let's go to the sauce. This is my GoHighLevel, demo account that I usually use. As you can see here, lead nurture demo pipeline, and we have the pipeline again. It's very, very raw. It's like new lead, confirmed, completed, upsell. So it should be one contact. I deleted everything. Yeah, so this is the contact that was created, right? So we go to the contact. It provided our like name, email, phone number, contact source, website, chatbot, Quimple, address. Okay, so all these things, and the Georgia, like the state, because we chose Georgia. Okay, so yeah, and it was, as you can see, unsuccessful since it already sent the SMS, right? But it was unsuccessful since on this account I still don't have the ATP verification set up. Anyways, so once we create the contact, the next step, we are creating the opportunity. So opportunity is like the pipeline, whatever. If you know GoHighLevel, you know what it is. If you don't, this is essentially like an opportunity in the pipeline, right? So it's like the same, because the contacts and the opportunities are different things. So we are creating the Quimple agency opportunity because this is the new lead, right? And here we are passing all the information as well as the details, right, from what we captured in the bot, so that when the user, the client, confirms through the SMS that he wants the service, our salesperson will actually hop on the call and have this information as the context. Okay, the problem is that for some reason right now GoHighLevel, like it's buggy, so there is no way to use the custom fields here, right? So I cannot input the custom fields inside make, because this node here is a custom field, like the details, this is the custom field. And as you can see, when we are creating the opportunity, I cannot find this this field. That's why we're like essentially triggering another automation inside GoHighLevel. So if we go to automations, we'll have two, right? So the first one is called new lead SMS confirmation. So this is where we are first triggering the automation through the webhook. So once the contact was created, once the opportunity was created, the only thing that is left is to input the details that was captured, right, and provided inside the webhook to the opportunity, right, into the details field. That's why we are triggering like post API request. As you can see here, there's a trigger. So we are triggering this this webhook and passing the information here. So like the selected service, selected price. So we're passing everything as well as the opportunity name. Anyway, so this is kind of technical things. We are waiting so that we make sure that opportunity was already created because there is some delay. And then we're finding the contact using the business name because contact was already created. And here we're passing the opportunity name, right? So opportunity name in this case is the company name. So the company name of the contact and opportunity name are the same things. So we can essentially use the opportunity name as the business name and find the contact. When we find the contact, we are updating the opportunity. This is the opportunity name, and here in the details, as you can see, we're passing the parameters from the nodes, because here in the API request, as you can see, there is a parameter called nodes, and the value is everything like from Chatbot. So we here use the inbound webhook trigger, the parameters that were passed, and the notes, right? And now, as you saw in the opportunity, now in the details, it will have the information about the client from the chatbot, okay? And then we are sending a simple SMS. Again, guys, like that was just a prototype to show the client how it can work. Obviously, there are much more things involved because this is kind of a bigger deal, and I will like explain you the deal structure later. But this is where we are asking AI to asking the client to verify the information and click yes. The thing is that this is made to make sure that this is a serious business and that he inputted the client, the business, inputted the right phone number, right? It's not just some random phone number. Obviously, we can add additional phone number verification, but now when he will reply yes, and we ask the user to wait for our SMS once he filled out everything, all the information, so we can make sure that this is A, interested lead, and B, we have the right phone number, and we have an ability to text him because we are going to use SMS as the reminders in our follow-up sequences, okay? So let's say that the user says yes. Now there will be additional notification that will notify this sales member. He'll call this prospect, set up everything. You ask me, okay, Eugene, why would you not, provide the time and ask for the time inside the chatbot, and why would you not ask for additional details? You need to understand that the average order value for this business for the cleaning is somewhere between $2,000 to $5,000. Okay, so this is on the higher tier. That's why we don't really want to input everything and book everything, because even if on the kind of overview side the prospect is qualified, cleaning is very specific thing, right? So it depends on a lot of factors on what the type of the service. So there are a lot of questions, right? We don't really, you might say, hey Eugene, I will sell the chatbot with a lot of different questions and it will do everything from the business. Guys, the fact that AI can do that doesn't mean that it's helpful, okay? That's why it just does one task but does it really good. So, and the next automation is just regular one for the appointment confirmation and the reminders and survey. That's not the final thing that we're probably going to use, but there is an email confirmation 24 hours before, email, SMS, then there's email after, wait. So all this, this is the automation for the reminders, and I might probably do another video where we will complete it for the client, or I might, I have it in the list to do a bit more in-depth video on the GoHighLevel automations that we have implemented for our clients. But for now, I think you got the idea on how it works, right? This is a basic overview. Again, everything will be in my resource hub. Now, let's jump into the sauce for some of you on how we actually structure the deal and how we close the client. This is my front. Again, everything will be blurred, guys, but I think you'll get the idea here. So, this is the first communication with the client. It was actually 3 months ago. Wow, I thought it was 2 months ago. So, as I said, we were running the cold email campaigns for the service-based businesses, and the first reply that we received was hey Eugene, well, that's interesting, send me more information here. Okay, so he said that he is kind of interested. It means that we are allowed to, provide some of our case studies as well as some of the things that we can do. Obviously, since we were not sure what thing this business wants at the current stage, my goal was to convert them and schedule the discovery call, right? But the problem here is that if I ask for the discovery call right away, it might scare them and think that we're not legit, we're just trying to sell something. So I will not show you my second email. I will have a separate video. Okay, let's do this. If this video will get 100 likes, I will, my next video will be on the cold emails, right? And I will give you this information. 100 likes, okay? Deal? So my second email was like kind of provided the case studies and provided the information. So we've been going back and forth. So what else I wanted to show you? Okay, I think yeah. So this is where this was like the message, I think. Yeah, so it was, I think, a week after after our discovery call, right? No, wait, so I already presented the prototype here. So on the discovery call, they agreed to pay, and I think we did the prototype in like 2 weeks. Yeah, so it was probably 2 weeks after the initial discovery call. So I presented, yeah, so I lied. Essentially, yeah, so we had 3 calls, right? So it was 1 discovery call, then I had the presentation call for the prototype, and then week after, because I remember that I was like kind of thinking, did he like it or not? He like seemed interested. So, and he said that show me like last week one more time to other members. So he was like alone on the call. So, and the third conversation was actually with all of the team members, and I was then, showing the same thing, and we've been going back and forth on how to structure it. So the thing that you might ask, like, Eugene, don't they use the CRM already? They do. They use NetSuite, I think. So, and we are, and this is will be kind of the hardest part, is to integrate this, like everything into their NetSuite. So the thing is that they didn't have any automations, and they didn't have like a proper automation sales pipeline CRM. So I said them that the GoHighLevel is the way to go, even if they, like at the first call, I think, even if they are not gonna order like a service from me, I think they need to, go with like GoHighLevel, or maybe like Pipedrive is a great choice, HubSpot, whatever. So I was kind of, letting them know that they like still need to do that anyways, and they can like set up very basic automations themselves, right? Again, I'm not like trying to convert everyone hard. Maybe that's why I'm still not at 100K, but I'm like trying to provide as much value as possible for free. Anyways, so we did the call. So I set them for the GoHighLevel, and then he was like kind of interested, but he was not sure so how it can be used. That's why I created the chatbot, and on the automations I created inside the GoHighLevel. So the thing is that yes, it can be done without GoHighLevel. So essentially, you can use the Airtable, right, and like do all the bookings, do the webhooks. For the SMS, you can use like Twilio, and for the emails, you can use just the Make integration. You can do no for the emails, I would do the N8N integration, and for the basic like webhooks to update certain information, I would use Make. So it can be done, but why? Especially if like I'm trying to kind of pitch them the CRM, because it's gonna be like better for them anyways. Okay, so and I pitched this thing, and what else? Yeah, and it was like 7 days ago. Why Jeremy said the developer is already weird. Already wired. Yeah, so this is guys my proof that the client was actually converted. He was like asking for the because the transfer didn't. I accept everything not on the Stripe, okay guys? I'm afraid the Stripe will block me. I hate Stripe. So I accept everything through the ACH. That's why there are some weird things. Some of the people don't still understand how to wire ACH. Yeah, okay, this is no, so they did the wire, right? So the ACH and wire are like different things. Anyways, so we've been kind of trying to figure this out. Okay, so and that was kind of my sales pipeline that took 3 months. That's why I was saying, and I'm always still say that when you work with bigger businesses, the turnaround time is like bigger, right? It doesn't mean that they're not interested. It's just they need some time to figure things out inside the company so that they're ready for the integration. So the total price, I'm not sure what I put in the title for the click-through rate. Maybe there's some I never put the random numbers, but so the total deal amount is going to be around $11,000 to $12,000. There is right now the automation in this current stage costs $7,000, so we charged 80% upfront, And obviously I say 11 because we're like going to again add additional functionality, because on the website, if you didn't see it because I blurred it, but essentially on the website they have like a find location thing, and we want to do a custom action that will do the same thing, where they will find the location first and then input all the details. So we'll like enrich the like chatbot experience, and we'll add additional automations. So this is what kind of they are currently planning for, and I charge 550. Yeah, so I think 500 or 550 for the prototype one-timer. After the discovery call was done, we did the prototype in probably like 7 to 10 days, and then it was presented to the client. Okay guys, I hope you like this video. Again, 100 likes and I will give you like more information on the cold email setup. Thanks for watching. Peace.